The coronavirus pandemic has brought many things into focus, but what about the focus itself? With much of the workforce labouring from their home offices and students learning online instead of in the classroom, those who already struggled with attention deficit disorders and similar conditions are now facing extra obstacles. I24 News correspondent Mike Wagenheim chatted with the CEO of Myndlift, an Israeli company that developed wearable neurofeedback technology that can retrain the brain using the remote guidance of a therapist.
This is a product that is designed almost to kind of rewire and refocus the brain. Incredibly important for a time like this. How has your product been received during this particular pandemic that we're going through?
Absolutely. So the thing is that our product is built on more than 30 years of work in the field of neurofeedback, which is a type of therapy that has existed in clinics for decades to help people improve their focus as well as improve their relaxation. Unfortunately, we've managed to bring it to people's homes, right? So instead of actually going to the clinic and putting all these electrodes to be able to use it there, now you can actually take it home with a simple wearable device and a mobile app, and you can do this whole training from home. People have been receiving this very well because right now, obviously, in this time where we have increased anxiety, which affects our focus and relaxation at home, people are in need of such product. And more than that, the clinicians that have been now forced to shut down their practices or at least halt their services can now offer this remote type of therapy to their own patients. And so what we've done really was bringing neurofeedback from a tool that has only been available at the clinics, requiring people to pay thousands of dollars in cost and requiring people to visit the clinic 30 to 40 times throughout the therapy, into something that is as minuscule as a headset that you just put on your head and the mobile app that you can use from home while still keeping the clinician in the loop.
The products like Ritalin, drugs like that for attention deficit disorder, very much in the public consciousness. But I think neurofeedback is a little bit lesser known. So tell me exactly, what is neurofeedback and how does your product help with it?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's not a very well-known type of therapy, but it has existed for at least 30 years out there. And the way that it works is you go to the clinic traditionally and you put these EEG electrodes on. These electrodes can measure your brain activity. And then this brain activity is transmitted into a computer screen that actually reacts to your own brain activity in real time. So I'll give you an example. You'll be playing a game that is solely controlled by your focus, right? So when you're actually focused, your character in the game will start running faster. And the moment that you lose your concentration, that character will start running slower. So having that feedback loop in real time will actually train you using operant conditioning to improve your focus over time. It's kind of like training a muscle, but in this case, you're training your focus muscle. Now, the thing is that neurofeedback has been used for multiple reasons in the past, not only for ADHD or focus, but it also has been used for anxiety, for even traumatic disorders, as well as we've seen athletes and business executives using it for peak performance, right? And the reason is it's not because it's a magic solution, but rather because it allows your own care provider, who's an expert in the field, to target specific brain activity in specific locations of the brain and tell the Myndlift system, what to do and how to train you. And obviously, this opens up a vast amount of possibilities. And that's why we're not only focused on improving your focus, but rather a big chunk of our users actually using it for other purposes, such as relaxation and improved brain performance.
The pandemic will pass, but life, the experts say, isn't going to be the same, at least for a while, perhaps never again the same. And we may see more people taking advantage of work from home situations. We may see more e-learning if people get used to that. So the product, it has more focus in a situation like this, but it could also serve as a longer term solution for people's focal needs. Do you feel that could be something to look at down the line?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, it's a great period for a lot of professionals, talking about clinics and also consumers, to try and get into this type of training right now because you're kind of like forced to. You don't really have a lot of alternatives. And by the time that this pandemic passes, it will be ingrained a little bit more and, more solidly in people's consciousness that this type of training for mental health is the way to go, whether there's a pandemic or not. We see this as just a period that would accelerate the adoption. But in any case, zooming out and looking at the rest of the industry, not only about us, telehealth right now is thriving, right? So, the organizations that have actually adopted telepsychiatry or telemedicine are now, they're grateful for the fact that they latched onto this early because right now they have the tool to deal with people at home. And I think this, when we're forced to do something, it might last for longer after. And it's kind of like, a wake-up call for the health industry to kind of adopt the new technologies and start providing things remotely. So there's, that's the positive.
Aziz, we want to thank you so much for your time. Myndlift is the product. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again down the road. Thanks so much.
Thank you.